love you. Will you marry me?
Said I love you, boy, I love you so.
This engagement party is a moment to celebrate a new future, but not without first exploring a past. Jenny Newman, Greta K, Anna Pena, Lizzie Gray, this Korean, that Korean, and Lizzie Gray again.
Okay, that's
and
enough.
friend.
I think that's enough.
Jason Segel, it's lovely to see you again.
Thank you, likewise.
Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
A lot
I
of
haven't
fun.
seen you since the I Love You Man
I
junket,
love you,
if I
man,
recall.
junket, yeah, which was eventful.
It was. It was a fun day.
But this is obviously something, this is very different. And it seems that the intentions with this one was to make something a little bit realer, but not to ignore the comic moments. Is that true?
I think that's right. Yeah, you know, the movies, the romantic comedies that I love are like Annie Hall and When Harry Met Sally. I don't like the new wave of romantic comedies where it's like, he's a scientist, but she hates science. It just feels silly to me. I like movies that are comfortable about being honest and sometimes sad and funny at the same time. It's the tone of life, you know?
Yeah, and you know you're friends with Emily Blunt. You've known Emily for a while, and her husband John Krasinski.
Yes.
Did you write it with Emily in mind? Did you guys?
I wrote
have a
it
concept
for
together?
Emily. Yeah, I knew that we would have a chemistry that would translate on screen, and she's also one of those actors who's just truly capable of anything. It's our third film together, and I knew she was just going to come in and knock it out of the park.
Yeah, and Nick Stoller as well, obviously directs.
Yeah.
And you know, forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Yeah.
absolutely love that movie, cracking
you.
film. So was it a no-brainer then for you and Nick to work together again?
Yeah, we became great partners. We did Sarah Marshall together and Get Him to the Greek, and then we wrote Muppets together and produced it together, and now this. So we've been working together quite a bit.
And what about the Muppets now? This one just has cult movie written all over. People won't shut up about it
Yeah.
since it came out. And was it a 98% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, it got really well received. I was very, very happy about that. Not for myself personally, but just to bring the Muppets back to where they belonged was very important to me, yeah.
But you've no intentions of going back and doing another
I just
Muppets
needed
movie?
a little puppet break. It was becoming weird, you know. I was becoming a very strange guy surrounded by puppets all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Judd Apatow, he's a producer here. You come from the Freaks and Geeks, that great show, obviously from the late 90s, early 90s. What does it take, do you think, to get that Judd Apatow stamp of approval? You've done a lot of movies with Judd now, and this is the second one that you've written with him. So what does it take for Judd to go, okay, I'm behind this?
I think what it is that the movies have an underlying ring of truth. When I wrote Sarah Marshall, he gave me great advice. He said, for your first draft, I want you to write a drama. It's going to end up being funny by nature of that I have a strange sense of humor, and then we can always layer comedy on top of that. But what is important is that there's a story that people can relate to, and that's what will keep them interested for an hour and a half.
And did you notice a difference then with how you were perceived in Hollywood or how you were perceived for other roles? Of course, you have How I Met Your Mother, which is very popular here as well. But after the success of Sarah Marshall did so well, and again, it's another one of those movies that people seem to revisit.
Yeah, well, things definitely changed at that point. You know, one of the great things that I've learned is if you make your movies for a reasonable budget, as opposed to going crazy or demanding a high salary, they're kind of going to let you do whatever you want. And so I get to do my passion projects, and this was certainly one of them. You know, our intent wasn't to make a Hangover-style movie that's just a laugh every second and a crazy adventure. It's an old Woody Allen style movie. It's an exploration of relationships.
And speaking to Seth Rogen and James Franco and some of the other guys before, that all started out with Freaks and Geeks as well, and talking about how much of a learning experience that was for them. Is
Yeah.
that something that you found crucial in the early parts of your career?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it was like a master class in acting and filmmaking and writing at a very young age, 17, 18 years old. And it changed all of our lives, for sure. You know, we had the naivety of youth where we thought that everything was like that. And, you know, in the years since, we've learned what a special experience that was.
And the circle that you're kind of involved in with Hollywood is like you're friends with Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like this. It's very envious for people to look at that from the outside and go, that looks like so much fun. You know, you might do Kimmel show or you might do Conan show.
yeah.
Is it just a big group of friends? Is it?
Well, I mean, everyone's an individual, but comedy tends to be a very small group, and like-minded
drawn
people
together.
attract each other. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've just been very lucky in general. I never pictured this to be my life, but it really worked out.
And is it just a case of making sure to crack each other up all the time? Is that how you write as well? You bounce
You'd be
ideas off
surprised.
Nick?
Comedians are often very quiet at a table. I'm much more of a watcher than I am a talker. I've learned something. You never learn anything by talking because you already know the things that you're going to say. So I tend to sit and listen.
And one of the movies I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to, Seth Rogen's directorial debut.
Yes.
Jane Eyre versus the Apocalypse. This sounds absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Do you play yourself in this, and are you still shooting this, or
I shot last week. I know they're still shooting, but yeah, we got the whole gang back together to go support Seth. It was very exciting.
And is it a lot of fun as well to film with everybody together?
Yeah, it really was. It was a proper reunion, and to see Rudd and Seth and all that movie, it was great.
Cool, Jason. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much,
Pleasure,
bro.
sir.
I don't think we can figure out all of our problems before we get married, but I promise you that I will just love you every step of the way.
Any ideas when this wedding might happen? Grandparents do have a tendency to die.
Mom, they're all right there.
Well, for now.
This is why we do not delay weddings.
The 5-year engagement.
What a cute little flower girl you'll be.
I'm Pocahontas.